I just emailed you a copy of the Marshals audit.
Okay.
Yeah, I expounded a little bit in the email as well, but it's there's so much to go through. This one we're gonna have to keep short because I could write 10 pages easily because it's almost every other line.
I think
screwy.
be thorough, but concise. Be thorough but concise. So, like, what would be missing from it?
So it's a lot of the constitutional justification is just inherently incorrect. And so you literally would have to go through and apply that to almost every paragraph of the legislation and write that out, and expounding on that is just it. I mean, we'd be looking at like literally a 10-page audit proposal.
Wait,
I just picked out
say
some
that
of
again?
the. So when you go through the actual legislation that they put forward,
Yeah.
the constitutional justification that they're using for a lot of these things is inherently kind of flawed because it doesn't directly state those things.
Correct.
And so they're expounding on their roles and responsibilities and what they can and can't do based off of that. And so it's literally every paragraph of their document, of their piece of legislation.
Yeah.
We would literally, I could literally go through and write challenges for, because
I love you, Ajax, but right now it sounds, and correct me if I'm wrong, it sounds like overexcitement for something that can be.
No, not overexcited. It's
well.
Let
Let me just finish the thought, because maybe I'm being a little like exaggerated myself. Is there the key premise that needs to be highlighted, right? Is, hold on, give me a second. What is it called? The legislation.
I think it's like state marshals legislation, and then inside of that, it's the Angel and Doc Act.
So the key, listen, so imagine it this way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's going to read a 10-page document, right?
Exactly.
So that's why the key word here is being concise, so that when the reader, right, who does not have access to the hours and dozens of conversations we've had as to the issues that we've observed, they need to be able to read this document and be like, aha, I see what you're saying. Now, the key bit here is that the constitutional justification inherently misquotes the Constitution to begin with.
Correct.
It then further goes on and gives itself powers that go beyond the scope of what the Constitution originally granted, thus creating a circumstance that they have attempted to take away the power from the
other law enforcement jurisdictions.
The other jurisdictions, yes.
Correct.
And the other legislative authorities, right?
Correct.
It's not even that the marshals are doing it. It's that this document is giving the DOJ, it's effectively saying the DOJ is encroaching on the legislative authorities of Blaine County and Los Santos County. Now, the key bit here, Ajax, and I want to get my thought out before you tell me what you're saying, all right?
Sorry, I get impatient, Mr. Mayor.
I know you're getting impatient. You got to relax a little bit.
No.
Right?
Not that I'm getting. I'm natively impatient.
I understand, but I need you to fucking calm down for a second, all right?
I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor. I'm sorry.
It's okay. All right. The key here is that it states in the Constitution that the DOJ shall have a law enforcement agency that is responsible for overseeing other law enforcement offices. It is followed by the pronoun they, which references the DOJ, but the constitutional justification infers that it's referring to the law enforcement agency, which is improper interpretation of the English grammar, right? So
Correct.
It is the DOJ that is responsible for preserving the integrity and safety of the state, the Constitution, citizens' rights, and the law of the state. And this is clear as well based on the context of what is in the sentence, right? It's not now when you look at that, right? If
Mhm.
you, so first you need to establish that they are responsible is the DOJ, and the DOJ is not ensuring this via the marshals, right? It's rather the DOJ as a law enforcement agency that oversees. Oversees does not mean supremacy, uh, overall authority, etc., etc. You with me? So
Yes.
that's the key thing that needs to be highlighted. It
Correct.
then should go on to note that Blaine County and Los Santos County are responsible, are the legislative authorities, and they're responsible for the governance, public services, and local laws. In turn, that is why the things noted in the state marshal, the updates, the patches that were put in are inherently unconstitutional because it encroaches on the governance. It encroaches on the public services, and it's not referencing oversight. It is referencing ultimate authority. You with me?
Correct. So yeah, I think that we're definitely on the same page. I wasn't saying that we needed a 10-page document at all, because yeah, that I'm saying if I were to go through the entire thing and write arguments against it, it would be that. I don't want it to be that. What I've sent you is much more compact.
Okay.
It highlights all those key points that you were talking about, except for directly the proponents about the governance of the counties, because I think that's inherent in some of the other points
Wait,
that
this
I
has
made.
been updated again.
What's changed? Because I took my copy earlier in the week when we first were discussing it.
Unless I'm tripping, like, hold on, give me a second.
Tell me where to look, and I'll tell you if it's in my copy.
Marshals. Okay, there we go. Oh, it updated on the 28th.
That's the copy that I have, is from the 28th or somewhere thereafter.
All right, give me a sec. Am I tripping? Hold on. Okay, on the right is the... Oh! I'm a dum-dum. You have to go like this. You have to click this one.
How's it going, boss? I'll be right with you. Give me just a minute.
Oh my God. This had more added to it than I thought. Okay, maybe I know about this. Okay, never mind. 28th is... Man, we've been working hard this week. This,
yeah,
for some reason, I was thinking
lot.
this is like 3 days ago, but this is actually... Well,
like
we
7.
originally noticed. So this states the SASM with the jurisdictional authority over the... This is the clause that was added, which inherently is insane.
Yeah, I actually addressed what you're specifically stating. I addressed that in the document. So
I recommended the following. In order to make this concise, our main argument when we look at the bigger picture here, right, is that we don't want to say the justices do not have the authority to make like decisions to alter law. Inherently, what we are saying is that we are dealing with like edits every 2 days that nobody knows about. Inherently, we don't even believe that the other justices may even be properly reading through this. There is no, it's affecting the entire state. There is no like process by which we can like, you know, scrutinize it, etc. And they're sort of seemingly happening at a whim. Now, given that that's like the bigger like conversation that we're trying to open up, I think focusing on this edit, this particular edit, the SASM and the jurisdictional authority, is probably not the worst idea.
Like I said, I do have that specifically notated in the document that I sent you.
Yeah.
So I would say take a look through that, and we should probably get the thoughts of the rest of the team, just to kind of review it and get their input, and then we can kind of go from there. But I think I've covered really everything that you were literally just talking about.
Okay.
And I think it's at a bare minimum, it's a great starting point to just kind of finesse into a final product of what we need.
I don't see this quote in the document. Hold on.
What can I help you with, bud?
I don't see the quote that says the SASM with jurisdictional
4K.
authority over the state of San Andreas is recognized as a hierarchically higher than the 2 county police departments.
Yeah, that again, I haven't. So let me. All right, give me 1 second. I'm just going back through it here. Okay, so near the top, by being directed to police the general population of Los Santos County and Blaine County, the San Andreas State Marshals are violating their constitutional mandate of oversight. The citizens that fall under the jurisdiction of the Marshals would be members of the Blaine County Sheriff's Office, the Los Santos Police Department, and Department of Justice, and its subsidiaries. The only caveat to this would be on state land where there is no other law enforcement agency with jurisdiction, of which there is very little outlined in the jurisdictional map attached to the Constitution.
Let me do this. Let me read through this, and I'm sure that you have a very salient argument that is in this document, but I want to highlight once again, and I want you to take a look at the document so you know exactly what I'm referencing.
Yeah, no, I read through it. I know which one it is. I will address that. I will address that a little bit more, and create a bit more of an argument for that specifically.
Very good. And I want to just to reiterate so you understand my POV, and please do feel free to poke a hole in this, is that the reason why I want to focus on the latest update is because it is not just an example of at a whim overstepping without scrutiny, but that paragraph in itself is the bit that's encroaching and greatly goes against what the Constitution says. There may be flaws in the rest of the document, right? Like, I'm not looking to topple the entire tower over, right? I don't think any of us should, because that's not the exercise. No. We want to evolve things forward. And by by poking at the biggest boulder that's sticking out, right? The biggest problem, I think it's going to be significantly more productive, right? Than saying everything's fucked. No, we're saying this particular thing is fucking dumb as shit.
No, I definitely agree with that. We want to fix it, not just destroy the whole thing. And I think that's where I was trying to center my arguments around, was how to correct it instead of just dismantling it.
Yeah, and I think the language of the document should show as such, right?
Okay.
Is like, hey, we respect the notion that there should be oversight, but that is not what this edit says. This is encroaching at this stage, and it is and let us show you why. Here's what it says. Here are what the rights are, and look at what this document says. This needs to be rolled back.
No, I agree.
Okay, easy. You get my point about the language, right? Like the way the flow of the document?
100%. Right. Yeah, I've tried to keep it kind of in line with as the document breaks down. I may have to reorganize a couple things just because as I'd reread through it, I would add stuff to it.
Absolutely. Let me also read your document, and we'll relink on this. All right.
Sounds good, Mr. Mayor. We'll talk to you in a bit.
Ajax, I appreciate you. All right.
No, of course, sir.
All right. Take care.
Take it easy.